What's up, mechanical keyboard friends? Today we are going to be diving deep so we can see what all the fuss is about with these amazing silent linear Kailh deep C switches. Before we do the sound test and comparisons with some other linear switches, let's do the switch details first. Actually, first of all, switchcaptain.com actually sent me these switches. They're relatively new. They don't have like a massive inventory, but I gotta tell you, there's like a reusable tin. They sent some stickers. They have like a genuine bona fide, like here's proof that this is actually a legit Kailh switch manufactured for Switch Captain, and this is like nice foam packaging, switchcaptain.com. Go check them out. And thank you guys, Switch Captain, for sending me the deep C switches. They also sent me like a card, and man, these guys are legit. I like them. Go check them out. Now, that said, the Deep Cs are a silent linear switch. Linear meaning there's no tactile bump, all the way smooth, down and back. 45 grams actuation force, which is on the lighter side. I'm gonna call the feel balanced, but I'll come back to the way they sound and feel after the sound test here in a second. Before that, the only thing you need to know is how these things are silent. I don't like silent switches. If you're watching this video and you're like, screw that, man, I like my keyboard. I like these, but I don't like silent switches. They have this foam in the bottom housing, or maybe it's foam, maybe it's some other material, I don't know. It's teeny tiny. You wouldn't even know it's there in case you unless you went and looked for it. That's one half of the sound dampening. And the other sound dampening is actually tucked away in the top housing on the sides, the rails, right where that stem moves up and down. There's little teeny tiny, I don't know, plastic, foam, some sort of sound absorption material tucked away in there. That's how these are silent, which I think is really cool. I've never actually seen this design before. Maybe it's been around, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of that. Two more things. It's a box switch, so there's a box within the box where the copper leaves are housed and so forth. Some dustproof, some waterproof there. They also have a dustproof stem. It's actually a circular design. They say you're not supposed to use this with a south-facing RGB. Well, no one told me, because I put them on my south-facing RGB keyboard over here, PCB. Works just fine. Keycaps didn't get stuck. I don't know what they're talking about. Worked fine for me. They also have a clear plastic insert in the side of the switch to help the RGB light shine through more. And the good news is these actually came pre-lubed. If they didn't come pre-lubed, I would hate this thing, because it's kind of a pain when you're like taking switches apart, trying to put it back together, but these came pre-lubed, which I'm really thankful for. And so I like the little plastic insert. There you go. All right. That's enough about how these things are silent. Let's dive over here for a sound test, and I'll also run it against a few other linear switches that I like. Join me afterwards to go deep and see Pete's thoughts. All right, Pete's thoughts. Overall, sound, feel. Overall, I really like these switches. I really do. I'm more of a tactile guy. I'm even more of a clicky switch guy than linear. I'm definitely not a silent switch guy. I like these. I like the way they sound and feel. I really do approve of these. So sound, muted, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Muted, crackly, with a really surprisingly pleasant spacebar. It just feels like solid like wood. It's still muted. It's still like a silent switch underneath that spacebar, but it gives like enough of a thock to really contrast with the muted keys. It just sounds really nice. I really like it. The only downside I have is that there is a little bit of spring ping. Here and there, you could swap out the switches or lube the switches a little better. I mean the springs. Excuse me, swap out the springs, not the entire switches. And you might be able to get rid of some of that spring ping, but it's not super noticeable. It's only a couple of keys here and there, but I have noticed it. Now, feel, really nice. Really nice. It's not too light, it's not too thick, it's not super buttery deep like the Black Inks or Milky Yellows. It's not like the Speed Silvers or something like that. It's right in the middle. It's perfectly balanced, and it feels nice. It feels like I could type on these pretty comfortably for like a long time, right? Some linear switches suffer from that. I can generally tell after just a couple of minutes of typing now whether that's going to be the case for my own like arthritis-ridden fingers. That's not that. They feel really good. They feel nice and balanced, and they sound muted and good. Overall, Pete's thoughts. I know that was a lot. I hope you can see why I like these switches based on the sound test. I really like these. I really do. I want to give a shout out before I end this video to switchcaptain.com. I like these guys. I don't know them personally, but I read their mission and I've like looked over their site and they sent me a tin with foam protection for the switches, and oh, well done. Switch Captain. Switchcaptain.com. Go check them out. They didn't pay me to say that. I think it's cool. Nice job, guys. So that's all I got. Let me know in the comments if you like silent switches and if you like the way that these deep sea Kailh switches sound. I personally do. They sound great. They feel great. I'm actually going to leave them on that keyboard for a week or two, just because they sound nice and I like typing on them. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope you have a lovely, deep day. See you later.